The numismatics were undertaken by hacker attack of Tokyo-based Bitcoin exchanging MT-Gox, outgoing tens of thousands of customers out of pouch. He's not precise who is in monitoring of the London-based company Ever Effective LLP. MT-Gox carrier Mark Karpelès apologized to investors and told he was company operating in the inquiry. The FBI has loaded a Ruski domestic in money laundering the kidnapped bitcoins. MT-Gox match up such who requested to buy the cryptographic currency in dollar, pounds and some world denominations in such needing to sell bitcoins, and processed an alleged 70% of the planet's bitcoin trading. The exchanging was initially set up to trading cards of a play set in a planet of wizards, magical and monsters. While it rotated its attention to cryptographic currencies, it emerging to be an enormous successful history. Nearly part of Bitcoin trade is made in Japan JPEE, and down there's though a Japan lady team, the Virtual Exchange Girls, that reflects Japan's increasing mania for virtual cash. But a team of amateurish investigators, Wiz SEC, found how hacker attack had aimed MT-Gox. They had regularly stolen users' accounts, concealment their tracks of MT-Gox operators for year. And in 2014, the website's head execution, Mark Karpelès, done the terrifying opening how hundreds of thousands of numismatics were lacking. While customers found themselves incapable to remove cash, the website compressed. He told the website had quickly grown up for his consumer expectations. MT-Gox went of exciting draft to creature, I would tell, a everyday horror of behavior in banks, governments, human beings I never knew existed. How the numismatics had lost lacking was initially a secret. But now investigators say nearly part the kidnapped numismatics of MT-Gox ended up at competing exchanging BTCE. The FBI says BTCE was a hub for cybercrime and helping to wash cache of cocky, consisting ransomware attacks of the type how hit the NHS and some organizations recent year. But hard to discover out who operates BTCE isn't lightweight. The exchanging declared to be managed by a UK business named Ever Effective LLP. Ever Effective's recorded office space is in East London, but the address is shared by some firms, several of that are mined to be implicated in cash money laundering. Duncan Hames, of Against Corruption team Clarity World, told he's potential to be a membrane business. Human beings money laundering cash will set up a web of companies to build layers among the unique criminality and their attempts to later incorporate the revenue of their criminality in the economics, he told. They just allow a episode of transactions to get location to build the range and to unclear the path of the revenue of criminality. In and try to govern these as called membrane companies, new rules entered in June 2016 now specify how companies must issue a listing of persons in considerable monitoring, PWSC. Ever Effective doesn't now include a PWSC. The man largest newly list, Alexander Bayanov, is a DJ in a Moscow nightclub. On to Andrei Zakharov, a Ruski reporter who tracked him downward. Mr. Bayanov claims he knew anything of the industry. The FBI says the man over BTCE is else Ruski domestic, Alexander Vinik. Mr. Vinik was detained time on feast in Greece in July 2017, and is now creature arrested in Thessaloniki. The U.S. Division of Judiciary now wants to give out him to person 21 counts of cash money laundering and some finance crimes in the U.S. Mr. Zakharov told, they were on the bathing beach and his woman was bathing, and while she rotated behind she saw a lot of human beings in sunglasses close her man, and how he was detained. Russia has as well registered an issuance query for Mr. Vinik on inferior, unrelated extortion. The Hellenic by the government is now in the trial of decisive among the two customer request. He added, BTCE is fair a web plate for purchase and marketing Bitcoin, not an exchanging. As such it cannot be detained accountable for the resource of cash utilized to buy Bitcoin, no more than rather than a office do changing can be detained accountable for swapping a kidnapped $100 mention in pounds full. A domestic criminality agent, NCA, representative told it didn't regularly prove or reject investigations but recognized same really actual risks to the UK and the UK's finance segment of big-scale, facility cash money laundering. He added, dealing cash money laundering is a top precedence for the NCA, and we include a quantity of domestic and world operative fleeing versus the criminals implicated, work in shut association in partners in law coercion and finance regulatory. Mark Karpeles was detained and loaded in theft associated to payments cost £. He says these were legal loans signed off by an bookkeeper. Same's as well loaded in manipulative information. He denies all the extortion, no of that relates to the losing of the 650,000 bitcoins. Mt. Gox is not the just Bitcoin exchange exchanging to be hacked. Though the virtual exchange girls include lose cash next else ladder Bitcoin exchanging identity theft. By Japan Bankrupt Act, the left 200,000 Mt. Gox Bitcoins are valuable at £300 every, the cost they detained while the exchanging compressed in 2014. With later, the importance has enlarged to about £7,000 every. Lot investors are now enterprising to see their Mt. Gox Bitcoins refunded at the present cost, and a judgment is anticipated during the following few months. So independently of the result in Mr. Vinnick's instance, Mt. Gox creditors who lose out might yet rotate a income, thanks to Bitcoin's unparalleled growth.